Hello and welcome. Take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear might change your life forever. This is not just a video. This is not just a book summary. This is your mirror. The story of your inner battle. The war between the life you dream of and the fear that holds you back. The name of the book is The Mountain Is You, and in this mountain you will see yourself. You will learn why you keep repeating the same mistakes, why you procrastinate, sabotage your happiness, or stay stuck even when you want to grow. You'll discover that healing is not about fixing who you are. It's about becoming who you were meant to be. You'll learn to understand your emotions, your patterns, your inner wounds, and how to finally become the master of your life instead of the prisoner of your fear. Let me ask you this. What if one idea could change your mind forever? What if one sentence could give you back the power you lost years ago? Books have changed history. Books have built empires. Books have saved people from depression, bankruptcy, and even suicide. Books are how the rich get richer, not just in money, but in wisdom. Did you know the average CEO reads at least 50 books a year? Warren Buffett spends 80% of his day reading. Bill Gates reads 1 book per week. Now ask yourself, why? Because they know this truth. Books are time machines. 1 book can save you 10 years of mistakes. 1 author's lifetime of lessons given to you in just a few pages. And today, you're not just reading a book. You're discovering your hidden mountain. If you're learning English, this video will help you in 3 powerful ways. First, you'll hear real spoken English, natural words, emotional tone, and phrases used by native speakers. Second, you'll get slow, clear explanations. Every sentence is crafted for easy understanding. Third, you'll feel deep motivation. You won't just learn English, you'll learn how to change your life. Your brain will learn English, and your heart will learn power. By the time this series ends, you will no longer ask, why do I always mess things up? You'll start asking, what is this mountain teaching me about myself? You'll walk away with more clarity, more self-respect, more emotional strength, more tools to rebuild your life, and most importantly, the belief that you can. So now let's begin. The mountain is you. Let's imagine a mountain. You're standing at the bottom, looking up. It's huge. It's cold. It's scary. The peak is covered in clouds. You want to reach the top. That's where your dream life is waiting. But you feel stuck. Maybe you've felt this before. You want to speak confidently, but you stay silent. You want to start a new habit, but you delay it every day. You want to leave a toxic job, but you can't move. You want love, but you keep pushing it away. You think the problem is out there. But the book tells you, the mountain is not outside of you. The mountain is you. It means you are standing in your own way, your fear, your self-doubt, your guilt, your past, your trauma, your excuses, your habits. You built this mountain and now you have to climb it. Self-sabotage is not failure. It's communication. You sabotage because a part of you is scared. Scared to grow, scared to lose control, scared to be seen, scared to succeed. You get offered a promotion. You feel excited, then anxious. You start showing up late. You miss deadlines. You don't know why, but deep down you think, what if I'm not good enough? That's self-sabotage, not because you're lazy, but because you're protecting your old self. There's a war inside you. One part wants to grow. Another part wants to stay safe. The second part is stronger because it's been with you for years. Since childhood, since trauma, since pain. So when change comes, it panics. It whispers, stay where it's comfortable. Don't risk getting hurt again. Just do what we always do. Even if that habit is killing your happiness, you're not broken. You're not weak. You're just running an old survival program. And now it's time to update it. Just like updating an app, you delete the bugs, improve the system, and relaunch. You can do the same with your mind. Each step you take is a moment of growth. The step where you forgive yourself, where you stop blaming others, where you wake up and choose better even when it's hard, where you finally say, I deserve more. I'm ready. Let's go. You don't need to climb it in one day. You just need to take the first step. The mountain is not your enemy. The mountain is your teacher. You created it to learn how strong you are. You built it so you could become the person who climbs it. You are not here to stay at the bottom. You are here to rise. And this book is your map. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. Before we start, take a moment. Close your eyes. Think about the last time you messed something up, not by accident but by your own hand. Something inside you knew it was important, but still, you ruined it. You skipped the job interview. You ignored the healthy habit. You pushed away the person who loved you. You stopped yourself from shining. Then you whispered, "I don't know why I always do this. I sabotage myself. I'm the problem." But today, the book tells you something that can change everything. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. It doesn't exist in the way you think. When you hear the word sabotage, you think of blowing up your own chances, destroying your happiness, getting in your own way. But the truth is, your brain doesn't want to hurt you. It's doing what it thinks is best for your survival. Even if it looks like destruction from the outside, self-sabotage is self-protection in disguise. Let's understand this with real-life examples. Imagine you see the perfect job opening. You know you're qualified. Your heart says, "Go for it." But you wait and wait until the deadline passes. You didn't apply. You call it self-sabotage. But let's break it down. Subconsciously, you might be thinking, what if I get the job and fail? What if I succeed and people expect more from me? What if I leave my comfort zone and I'm not ready? So instead of facing the unknown, your brain whispers, "Let's stay where we are. At least it's familiar." That's not sabotage. That's your inner child trying to stay safe. Or imagine you finally meet someone who loves you, respects you, supports you. But slowly you start pulling away. You pick fights. You create distance. You break it off. You say, "I ruined it. I always do this." But your subconscious might be saying, "Last time I opened my heart, I got hurt. Love feels dangerous. This can't be real. I don't deserve this." So your brain protects you. It builds walls not to hurt you but to avoid feeling pain again. You are not one single voice inside. You are a mix of dreams, fears, habits, memories, pain, hope, old stories, and new desires. Sometimes these parts disagree. One part of you wants success. Another part of you is scared of what success will change. One part of you wants love. Another part of you is terrified of being abandoned again. It's not that you want to destroy your life. It's that one part of you is trying to protect the life you've already survived. Your subconscious doesn't care about happiness, it cares about safety. And once you understand that truth, you can stop fighting yourself and start healing yourself. Growth doesn't care about comfort. It only cares about familiarity. Your brain asks one question. Have we felt this before and survived it? If yes, it keeps repeating it, even if it's unhealthy, even if it hurts you, even if it leads nowhere. That's why some people keep choosing bad partners, staying in toxic jobs, avoiding risks, rejecting success, and repeating old patterns. Not because they want pain, but because pain feels more familiar than peace. Let's say you're trying to speak English in public. You know your grammar. You've practiced your lines. But when it's time to speak, your throat closes. You freeze. You say nothing. You think, why do I sabotage myself? I've practiced so much. But inside, there's an older voice saying, what if they laugh? What if I make a mistake? What if I sound stupid and lose respect? That voice is not scared of English. It's scared of emotional pain. So your brain says, let's be quiet. That way we stay safe. It's not sabotage. It's a protection mechanism built from your past experiences. If your house is on fire and a child is crying, do you yell at the child? Of course not. You protect them. You hold them. You comfort them. In the same way, you must hold your scared inner self with kindness, not judgment. Say, I see you. I understand why you're scared, but we're not in danger anymore. We can do this together. Ask yourself, what do I want? And what am I afraid of losing if I get it? Clarity is the first step to freedom. Instead of ignoring fear, talk to it. Say, fear, what are you trying to protect me from? Then write the answer. You'll be surprised how much your subconscious is trying to help you, even in the wrong way. Instead of saying, I'm sabotaging everything, say, I'm learning to understand myself. I'm discovering the part of me that needs healing. Self-sabotage ends when your inner world feels safe enough to grow. Create rituals of safety, meditation, self-talk, supportive friendships, journaling, coaching, or therapy. Learning new skills like English, reading books like this. When you feel safe, you stop sabotaging and start thriving. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not your mistakes. You are a story in progress, a healing heart, a rising soul, a person climbing the mountain they once built out of fear. There is no such thing as self-sabotage, only parts of you that need to feel safe, seen, and supported. The moment you stop punishing yourself and start listening to yourself, that's when transformation begins. Your triggers are the guides to your freedom. Let's start with a simple question. What is a trigger? A trigger is not just something that annoys you. It's something that hurts you, even when it seems small. It's when something outside you, a word, a situation, a sound, a person, suddenly awakens deep emotional pain inside you. It's when something tiny makes you feel huge anger, fear, sadness, jealousy, or shame, and you don't understand why it feels so big. That's not just emotion, that's a trigger. For example, you text your best friend. They see the message but don't reply for hours. You feel angry, anxious, rejected, unimportant. But it's just a late reply, right? So why so much pain? Because deep inside, you might carry fear of abandonment, childhood wounds of being ignored, memories of rejection, old trauma where silence meant danger. Your friend's silence isn't the problem. Your triggered memory is. Your triggers are not enemies. They are road signs, messengers showing you where your unhealed pain lives. What triggers you is trying to teach you something about yourself. Here's the big truth. If you want freedom, don't avoid your triggers. Follow them. Understand them. Heal them. Triggers are not here to destroy you. They're here to show you what still hurts, what you haven't accepted, what you truly need, and where your power is still locked away. Maybe you're working hard and feeling proud, but someone says one small thing like, "You could have done it better." Suddenly, you feel crushed, ashamed, defensive, like you're not good enough. Is their comment really that powerful? No. What's powerful is the wound it touched. Maybe your parents were always critical. Maybe your teachers made you feel like a failure. Maybe you had to prove your worth to feel loved. So now, every small criticism hits that old wound. That's your trigger. Each time you get triggered, you receive a key. A key to open the door of healing. A key to meet your past self. A key to free the part of you that's still hurting. So don't just say, "I got triggered. I overreacted." Instead, ask, where did that pain come from? What part of me needs attention, love, or safety? Let's take an example close to your heart. You're trying to speak English. You watch someone on YouTube, fluent, confident, amazing accent, and suddenly you feel jealous, small, insecure, hopeless. You say, "Why can't I speak like that? I'll never be that good." Pause. That emotion, that punch in your chest, is a trigger. What is it really saying? Maybe it's, "I was made fun of for my mistakes. I was told I wasn't smart enough. I'm afraid people will laugh at my voice." The trigger isn't the speaker, it's your memory. Most people, when triggered, get angry, blame others, deny it, distract themselves, or avoid the situation forever. But if you want to grow, you must pause, feel, ask, listen, and understand. That's how healing begins. Pain is a compass. It points you directly to the part of you that's asking to be healed. Triggers are like alarm bells. They ring when your heart says, "Please look here. Please don't ignore me again. This is where I need love. This is where you left yourself behind." Here's a simple but powerful exercise. Think of a recent time you felt really upset, hurt, or angry. Write down exactly what triggered you. The situation, the words, the tone. Then ask yourself, what did I feel in that moment? Where have I felt this before in my life? What belief does this trigger reveal? Example, I felt disrespected. I felt that way as a child when my opinions were ignored. I believe I don't matter. Now say to yourself, I am safe now. I'm not in the past. I can respond with awareness. Here's what most people get wrong. They think avoiding triggers will bring peace. But that's fake peace. Real peace comes when triggers no longer control you. And that only happens when you face them, understand them, and heal them. Triggered emotion reveals hidden truth. Anger. A boundary was crossed. Jealousy. You desire something you've denied yourself. Fear. You feel unsafe or uncertain. Shame. You're judging yourself through someone else's eyes. Sadness. You're holding on to loss, rejection, or grief. These are not weaknesses, they're maps. When you follow them with honesty, you reclaim your power. Imagine this: your colleague gets praised. You've worked hard too, but no one notices. Suddenly, you feel invisible, angry, not good enough. Your trigger has been activated. Most people would say, "I hate this place. They don't see my worth. That person is fake." But the wiser question is, why did this moment hurt me so much? What part of me still believes I need external validation to feel worthy? That's how you turn pain into power, by facing it, not fleeing from it. Then you start doing the real work. That's where the magic begins. The goal is not to become untriggered. The goal is to become so self-aware that nothing can control you anymore. This isn't just a message. It's a revolution. It reminds you that you are not weak for being triggered, and you are not broken. You are becoming aware. Every trigger is a chance. A moment to go deeper, to meet yourself, to hold your pain instead of running from it, to listen to the child inside you, to reclaim your mind, your power, and your peace. The mountain you are climbing is filled with emotional landmines. But now you know every landmine is a lesson, every trigger is a teacher, and every reaction is a reflection. Your job is not to avoid them. It's to understand them. Because understanding creates freedom. Building emotional intelligence. Ask yourself, what do I do when I feel overwhelmed? How do I react when someone disrespects me? Do I know how to handle difficult emotions? Or do I avoid them? If you've ever overreacted and later regretted it, felt confused about your emotions, struggled to explain why you're upset, or said, "I'm fine," while breaking inside, this is your breakthrough. Because now you'll learn a life-changing skill: emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to feel, understand, control, and direct your emotions with wisdom. In life, emotions make most of your decisions, not logic. It's not your IQ that guides you through heartbreak, pressure, or conflict. It's your EQ, your emotional quotient. People with high IQ but low EQ often ruin relationships, struggle with leadership, hurt others and themselves, and avoid growth because they can't handle discomfort. But people with average IQ and high EQ win trust, stay calm under pressure, understand others, heal themselves, and rise like true leaders in difficult times. Imagine receiving a rude email from a colleague. You feel insulted and immediately want to reply with anger and sarcasm. Stop. If you send that message, you might damage your reputation, your peace, or your job. But if you pause, breathe, and process your feelings, asking yourself, what am I feeling and why? You'll respond with calm clarity instead of emotional chaos. That's emotional intelligence. It's not about suppressing emotions like a robot. It's about understanding them so deeply that they no longer control you. You don't have to kill your feelings. You must learn to master them. The 5 pillars of emotional intelligence. 1. Self-awareness. Knowing what you're feeling and why. Example, I feel anxious because I don't feel prepared. 2. Self-regulation. Managing your emotional reactions. Example, I feel angry, but I'll express it calmly instead of yelling. 3. Motivation. Using emotions to drive growth. Example, I feel disappointed, but I'll use that energy to improve. 4. Empathy. Understanding what others feel. Example, they're not rude, they're hurting. 5. Social skills. Managing relationships wisely. Example, let's solve this with communication, not drama. You're heartbroken. Someone left you. You feel abandoned, worthless, angry, and jealous. Without emotional intelligence, you might send toxic messages, stalk their social media, or drown in blame for months. But with emotional intelligence, you'll ask, what did I learn? Where did I ignore red flags? What part of me is really hurting? How can I grow stronger from this pain? You don't avoid feelings, you hold them like teachers. Emotions are not random. They're data. They're messages from your subconscious, your inner GPS. You speak English, make a mistake, and someone laughs. Shame, embarrassment, and fear rise up. Without EQ, you shut down and think, I'm not good enough. With EQ, you name the feeling, that's shame. That's fear of judgment. Then you choose growth. I'm learning. Mistakes are part of the path. That's transformation, not avoiding pain, but using it to evolve. Here's the truth. Most people don't feel their emotions. They become them. They don't say, I feel angry. They say, I am angry, and throw that anger at others. They don't say, I feel insecure. They act jealous, bitter, or cold. That's how fights begin, relationships crumble, and dreams die. Not from lack of talent, but from emotional blindness. Real tools for emotional mastery. 1. Name your emotion. Be specific. Don't just say, I feel bad. Say, I feel rejected, embarrassed, forgotten, or disrespected. Naming emotion is the first step to healing it. 2. Ask where it's coming from. Emotions come from interpretation, not events. You might feel jealous when your friend succeeds. Dig deeper. I believe I'm falling behind in life. That's where healing starts. 3. Pause before reacting. Train yourself to pause. Take 3 deep breaths and ask, what's the smartest way to respond right now? Your emotional pause is more powerful than any emotional punch. 4. Talk to yourself like someone you love. When overwhelmed, don't say, I'm weak or stupid. Say, you're safe. You're growing. I'm proud of you for feeling this and still moving forward. Self-talk is the secret weapon of emotionally intelligent people. 5. Make emotion your fuel. Use emotion to build, not break. Feel disappointed? Work harder. Feel jealous? Learn what inspires you. Feel anxious? Make a plan. Feel sad? Rest and reconnect. Emotion equals energy. Direct it with purpose. If you don't understand your emotions, you'll attack loved ones for no reason, create distance when you need connection, and destroy trust because of unhealed wounds. But if you do understand emotions, you'll speak instead of scream, listen instead of defend, and grow instead of blame. That's how relationships thrive, not through perfection, but through emotional wisdom. No one is born emotionally intelligent. You learn it through failing, reflecting, practicing, healing, and growing. Every intense emotion is an opportunity to build EQ. Imagine someone insults you in public. You want to scream or cry, but instead, you pause, breathe, and ask, what does this say about them? Not me? What response protects my peace? Then you walk away with dignity. That's power. Emotional intelligence is not soft, weak, or boring. It's the foundation of confidence, leadership, growth, healing, and success. When you build it, you no longer fear your feelings, you welcome them. You listen to them. You work with them, not against them. You become calm in chaos, peaceful under pressure, wise in storms, and unstoppable in transformation. The mountain you climb is not just made of fears. It's made of feelings you never learned to manage. But now you're learning. You're rising. You're becoming emotionally free. Releasing the past. Close your eyes and picture yourself climbing a mountain. You have a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock has a name written on it: regret, anger, guilt, old relationships, missed chances, who I used to be. You're trying to reach the top, but the bag is breaking your back. That bag is your past, and you will never reach the summit if you don't learn to let it go. Because it's not just memory, it's emotion trapped in time. Every event that hurt you left behind energy. Fear, shame, sadness, betrayal. Those emotions never disappeared. They just sank deeper inside you. So even when years pass, one small thing can reopen that old wound. The past doesn't live in history books. It lives in your nervous system. That's why you can move to a new city, change jobs, meet new people, and still feel like the same old pain follows you everywhere. Because you brought it with you. You can't build a new life while holding old pain in your hands. The purpose of pain is not to punish you, it's to teach you. Once the lesson is learned, you must release the experience. You're not supposed to carry the past. You're supposed to grow from it. Releasing doesn't mean forgetting or pretending nothing happened. It means changing your relationship with it. You stop seeing yourself as a victim. You stop replaying the same story in your head. You accept that what happened cannot be changed, but what you become because of it can. For example, someone hurt you deeply. They lied, cheated, abandoned, or used you. You swore you'd never forgive them, but every time you think of them, your stomach tightens. That's not punishment for them, it's prison for you. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you're done letting it control you. You forgive not to free them, but to free yourself. Your brain repeats what's familiar, even pain. It loves patterns. If you lived for years in fear or guilt, that becomes your comfort zone. When you try to move on, your mind screams, "Wait, this is new. This is unsafe." You relapse into old habits, not because you're weak, but because your brain hasn't learned what safety without suffering feels like yet. Letting go isn't losing. Letting go is learning to hold yourself instead of what hurt you. How to release the past. Face it without editing. Stop running. Write everything that still hurts. Be brutally honest. Write letters you'll never send. Name the pain, because what you don't face, you repeat. Find the lesson hidden inside. Every painful memory carries wisdom. Ask, what did this teach me about myself? What strength did it reveal? Maybe heartbreak taught you boundaries. Maybe failure taught you humility. Maybe rejection built your resilience. Pain wasn't random, it was a curriculum. Release through ritual or action. You can't think your way out of emotional weight. You must express it. Write your old story on paper and burn it safely. Donate or throw away things that carry painful energy. Visit the place that haunts you. Breathe and walk away in peace. Say out loud, "It's over. I am free now." Your subconscious believes what it sees you do. Create new meaning. The past hurts because it feels meaningless, like wasted suffering. Give it purpose. Tell yourself, that pain built my empathy. That experience prepared me for something greater. When you change the story, you change how your brain stores the memory. Return to the present. Every time you drift to the past, anchor yourself here. Feel your heartbeat. Name 5 things around you. Breathe slowly. Say, "I'm here. I'm safe." It's 2025, not 2015. The body remembers trauma, you remind it of time. Imagine your heart as a glass of muddy water. You can't clear it by shaking. You clear it by adding clean water. New experiences, gratitude, kindness, purpose. Slowly, the mud settles. The water becomes clear again. That's what releasing the past feels like. Sometimes we cling to pain because it's the last connection to something we lost. You replay old songs, scroll old photos, afraid that letting go means forgetting. But the truth is, you can keep the lesson without keeping the suffering. Love doesn't vanish when pain fades. It transforms into wisdom and peace. The past can disguise itself as comfort. You look back because it feels safe, you already know how it ends. But you can't walk forward while facing behind. Stop trying to return to who you were. You've outgrown that version. Neuroscientists explain. Each time you recall a painful memory, your brain replays the same chemicals. That's why it feels real again. But if you recall it with acceptance instead of anger, you literally rewire your brain. You teach it that the event is no longer a threat. That's how emotional freedom happens biologically. Imagine standing at the base of your mountain. Behind you, a chain ties you to old memories. Now visualize cutting that chain. See your past self smiling, waving goodbye. Say softly, "Thank you for getting me this far, but now I must go alone." Then walk forward, lighter. Something magical happens. You laugh easier. Sleep deeper. Music sounds better. The world feels new because you are new. Peace was never missing. It was just buried under memory. You can't start a new life while clutching the ashes of the old one. You can't climb higher while dragging ghosts. You can't become who you're meant to be while defending who you used to be. The past isn't your home. It was your classroom. Say it aloud. I honor my past, but I don't live there anymore. I forgive so I can be free. I release what I can't control. I am ready for the new chapter. When you finally release the past, you stop climbing the same mountain every day and start discovering new peaks you never knew existed. That's when the mountain transforms from your burden into your blessing. Building a new future. Take a breath. Feel the silence inside you. You've come so far, faced your pain, studied your triggers, released your past. And now something beautiful is happening. You are no longer who you used to be, but not yet who you're becoming. You're in the middle, and this is where creation begins. This next chapter is not about healing anymore. It's about building. And if you don't fill that space with purpose, values, and habits, your mind will return to old pain because it has nothing else to hold on to. Freedom is not enough. You need a plan for your freedom. So now ask yourself, who do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to wake up to? What habits do you want to live by? What energy do you want to carry? This is your new mountain. You can't build a new future with the same automatic programming that created your past. You must live intentionally, on purpose, with awareness, through daily decisions that shape your future self. It doesn't mean changing cities or names. It means building new beliefs, creating daily systems, living with emotional discipline, and holding yourself to higher standards, one ordinary day at a time. Imagine a person who wants to change their life. They've released their past trauma. They're ready to rise, but their daily routine looks like this. Wake up late, check their phone, skip breakfast, complain about work, scroll for hours, go to bed anxious. Can this person become their best self like this? No, because healing without structure is just a feeling. The future isn't something you wait for. It's something you build with habits. Even something as small as cleaning your desk each night trains your brain to believe, I am organized. I finish what I start. I respect my energy. This isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. To build a new future, you need to master 5 things. Vision. You must know where you're going. I want to become a confident English speaker. I want to live peacefully. I want to love myself fully. That's your why. Systems. Dreams without systems die. Want to write a book? Create a writing schedule. Want to be healthy? Make a meal plan. Want to improve your English? Practice 30 minutes a day. Systems protect dreams from chaos. Environment. Your surroundings shape your mind. Remove toxic friends, negative voices, and draining habits. Add books, clean spaces, supportive people, nature, and silence. Identity. Don't just do different things. Become a different person. Stop saying, I'm trying to be healthy. Start saying, I'm the kind of person who moves daily, who learns daily. Reinforcement. Celebrate small wins. Reward effort. Track progress. Notice growth. What gets rewarded gets repeated. Let's say you've always been afraid of speaking English, but you've healed your fear. Now it's time to build a new future with English as your tool. Watch 1 English video a day with subtitles. Speak to yourself in the mirror. Journal in English for 10 minutes daily. Surround yourself with English podcasts. Write goals in English. Celebrate every improvement. Over time, your brain rewires. You stop saying, I'm learning English. You start saying, I'm an English speaker. That's not a goal, that's a new identity. You become what you repeat. Every day, your choices cast votes for the kind of person you are becoming. Vote for confidence. Vote for growth. Vote for healing. Vote for peace. How to build a new future, a 6-step plan. Step 1. Write a new self-concept. Describe your future self, not what you want to have, but who you want to be. Write it in present tense. I am calm. I speak clearly. I believe in myself. I live with intention. Step 2. Design a future you day. Imagine one normal day as your best self. What time do you wake up? What do you eat? What do you say yes or no to? Now start living one piece of that day, every day. Step 3. Remove what doesn't align. If it doesn't belong to your future, release it. Old routines, draining people, wasted time, thoughts that weaken your spirit. Every no is a yes to your new life. Step 4. Build a morning system. Your first hour shapes your day. Move your body even for 5 minutes. Sit in silence or gratitude. Practice English. Review your goals. Ask, what is one thing I can do today that my future self will thank me for? Step 5. Track micro wins. You don't need big leaps, you need daily progress. Spoke one full English sentence? Win. Slept on time? Win. Said no to gossip or anger? Win. The new future is built in moments, not milestones. Step 6. Visualize daily. Close your eyes. See your future self walking, talking, living with calm confidence. Feel it. Be it. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between rehearsal and reality. So rehearse greatness. Your new future isn't waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to begin. You've healed. You've let go. You've listened to your inner voice. Now it's time to build a life that fits your truth. Not the one shaped by fear, expectations, or others. Build the life you would live if you weren't afraid of anything. Act as your future self starting today. From self-sabotage to self-mastery. You wake up in a quiet room. No fear, no panic, just peace. You no longer second-guess yourself. You no longer repeat the same painful habits. You finally trust yourself. This isn't a dream, this is self-mastery. Self-sabotage is when emotions control you. Self-mastery is when you control emotions. Self-sabotage lets your past define your future. Self-mastery lets your vision create your reality. Self-sabotage says, I'm not ready. I'm not enough. Self-mastery says, I decide what happens next. My habits shape me, not my fears. Self-mastery isn't perfection. It's ownership. You feel emotions, but they don't break you. You meet problems with calm, not chaos. You follow through even when it's hard. You don't wait for motivation, you live with discipline. Healing is not enough. Letting go is not enough. Growth is not enough, not until it becomes power. You rise not by talent, but by character. You don't wake up strong, you build strength one choice at a time. The 7 pillars of self-mastery. 1. Radical self-honesty. Stop lying to yourself. Ask, what am I pretending not to know? Self-honesty is the beginning of power. 2. Responsibility without excuse. Say, it's my life, my habits, my reactions, my responsibility. 3. Emotional neutrality. Feelings are powerful but not always true. Observe them, then choose your response. 4. Delayed gratification. Do what's right, not what's easy. 5. Mental discipline. Use your mind as a tool. Focus deeply. Read, reflect, think clearly. Silence sharpens wisdom. 6. Micro habits of self-respect. Mastery is built through thousands of small acts. Cleaning your space, keeping promises, showing up when no one watches. 7. Identity alignment. You stop saying, I'm trying. You start saying, I am. Most people post success but don't build it. They crave peace but chase drama. Self-mastery is quiet, private, and real. You don't need to announce change. Your energy speaks for you. You are not here to stay broken. Not here to repeat pain. You are here to rise to the summit of your own potential. The healed, disciplined, fearless you. This is not the end, it's your beginning. No one is coming to save you. No miracle is arriving at midnight. But you already have everything you need: awareness, power, direction, and a map. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are becoming. The mountain didn't stop you. The past didn't break you. Fear didn't win. Something inside you refused to give up. If this message gave you hope or clarity, remember, this is just the beginning. Keep climbing, not because you're broken, but because you finally know how powerful you can be.